congratulations on the new film.
Thank you.
First question to you is about the character Lucia. I love this character. And Lucia seems like she's under no illusions about who Harris is, and she seems unbothered by a lot that's what's taken place. Where does that calmness and coolness come from? Is it a maturity, a self-actualization?
It certainly doesn't come from me, but I thought Lucia is just one of those people who has some wisdom about life, which doesn't mean she's above feeling or above emotion, but she accepts people for who they are. Nothing human is foreign to her. And she's funny, she's droll, but she's also, accepts people for who they are. And I think that Maribel played that beautifully.
Absolutely, she was wonderful. And then also, for not having been on screen, you managed to give Harris a huge personality. What was it like writing and creating such a complex character?
It's always tricky because you don't want a movie to be all about backstory, but here, of course, the weight of what had happened to these men was big. Of course, you want contradictions. That fuels characters a lot. And the contradiction of how they feel about him and how others feel about him is very easily, something that can enrich a character. I think also, Tom Bauer has those two tiny appearances in those dreams, flashbacks, or whatever, apparitions they are. But he's very expressive, and just his physicality is fantastic. And of course, the men are obsessed with that character. So they help to draw him out for the audience.
And the siblings, Ray and Raymond, are both dealing with a lot of trauma and grief when it comes to their father. How do you manage to keep these things feeling funny while also dealing with such heavy topics?
I didn't write it as a comedy. I wrote it as human folly and the nuttiness of people trapped in the past and trapped in, men not being allowed to grow up, men not being encouraged to become grown-ups. So the situations were, I thought, crazy, eccentric, unusual, but the actual laughs, I think, were brought on by the performances, by the tone that the actors brought to those exchanges.
And when you were writing and developing these characters, were there any that were a particular favorite of yours to create?
If they're working, they're all my favorites. I love them all dearly. Some, of course, were more supporting characters, but then when I saw them in the flesh, like Bondi Curtis Hall, who plays the Reverend, or Todd Loizo, who plays the funeral director, I thoroughly enjoyed seeing those people come to life.
Where did the inspiration for the story come from?
I have no idea. It just came as a story, already sort of in place. Initially, just one person, one son burying a father, but it wasn't until I thought of another, that it was two brothers, two half brothers, who shared this ugly past with a father, then the story bloomed.
And then, as someone in the audience, I want to believe that this road trip was some kind of a closure for Ray and Raymond, and they moved on to happier lives after all of this. Do you think that they'll get that?
I don't think anybody changes in a day, especially after 40 years of some kind of trauma. But I thought the day offered an opportunity for a door to open for perhaps a new, a turn. It's just an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to see yourself in a different light. Again, life cannot improve in a day dramatically, but I hope it gives these men the opportunity, the chance to finally grow up a little more.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you talking with us today.